Mortem. See how this is gonna work. There we go. It's at 800 by 600 resolution, but I'm streaming it at 960 by 720, so still looks good though. Let's go with a new game. No Oscar, no Yukis, just a lot of murder. I'm gonna keep quiet while we watch the opening scene. Takes place in France, by the way. Yeah, I said it. Twenty games, nice. Yep, and there you have it. That's the intro. GOG is having a sale right now, big summer sale, I think. And Fanatical is too, and Fanatical is where I found Dragon's Dogma for like $8. Yeah, it's a gruesome murder.
Are we going to keep staring at each other, or are you going to invite me in?
So basically it starts out, you see the murder scene. Let me up the gamma a little on this, it's pretty dark. Everyone's having a sale now practically. Yeah, but the problem is most of the games I want aren't in the deep sales. The games that are in the deep sales are the ones that I already own. So it's like gives me an excuse not to buy the games. Set on multiple color settings. Is this it? No. Image settings. Noise reduction, edge enhancement. I just want to put up my gamma. How do I do that? These settings, adjust. Here's gamma. I'm gonna bring this up quite a bit here. Is that helping it? Nope. Didn't do anything. Why? we go. Oh, I was changing the gamma in the wrong place. Here we go. There we are. Why is it still dark on OBS? Great. Okay. What did I just do? Let me fix this in OBS. Gotta make it brighter. Excuse me. There we go. Now it's close to how I'm seeing it. Hang on. Okay, that should do it. Okay, she knocked on her door. It was a murder. Clearly we saw it. It was a couple that was murdered. They were decapitated. They found their bodies with their heads in their laps. Typical murder stuff. Jack the Ripper kind of deal. So you have to pick from several options here. And basically, the game... Holy crap. The game deals with different outcomes based on what you choose throughout the game. So... to make it simple here, I'm just going to go, oh yes, forgive me. Do come in.
Oh yes, forgive me. Do come in.
Just going to invite her in.
Sorry, I didn't introduce myself. Blake. Sophia Blake. Mr. MacPherson, I have an offer to make. Interesting for you, vital for me.
Don't think you quite understand now. All I want to do is paint and nothing else. He's a former private investigator who's now like retired in France and he's painting. He's a painter. You mentioned an interesting offer. What exactly was it?
You mentioned an interesting offer. What exactly was it?
Mr. MacPherson, you've been in Paris for some time and I need your help. Only you can investigate this case. I'm ready to pay anything.
Probably want more details about the case, right?
Could you give me any more details about the case? At the moment, it all seems rather nebulous.
You probably haven't heard about the Orphée case, Mr. MacPherson. The newspapers have kept it quiet. A couple of American tourists were brutally murdered. They were my sister and her husband. I want to know the circumstances surrounding their death.
I gotta fix the audio because apparently I can't do that yet. I hear the music over her, so that's more about this. I don't want to seem overly interested, but why do we settle for my fees before we go any further? Let's not do that yet. I don't get it. I never worked for you before, not here nor in New York. He's originally from New York. Did you come to me and ask me to find your sister's murderer? Why, Miss Blake?
I don't get it. I've never worked for you before, not here nor in New York. Yet you come to me and ask me to find your sister's murderer. Why me, Miss Blake?
Your reputation, Mr. MacPherson. I find your nickname spooky to be charming. I have friends who know people at the Pinkerton Agency in New York. The suspicion surrounding you is totally unfounded, naturally. You are the man I need for this investigation. Discreet, capable of seeing beyond appearances.
Okay. These murders were committed in Paris. Do you know whereabouts in Paris?
These murders were committed in Paris. Do you know whereabouts in Paris?
They seem fine on stream.
Out of Paris in the 8th district, the Hotel Orphée. They arrived there about a week ago. They were found dead in their hotel bedroom.
What about the police?
Are the police handling the case? If they are, it may well complicate things. Do you know the name of the inspector in charge of the investigation?
The detective in charge of the investigation is named Lebrun. You know, the police are the same in every country, Mr. MacPherson. Whether you're in New York or in Paris, you mustn't be in a hurry. Lebrun is no exception.
Be honest, I'm not sure I could take the case. Actually, we want to take the case, otherwise we won't be able to play the game. I'll lower the volume slightly on the music. How did they die? Are you sure they were murdered?
How did they die? Are you sure they were murdered? It may just have been a terrible accident.
The Whites were found decapitated in their hotel room, Mr. MacPherson.
Hold on. I like that it is fully voiced as well. Let's not capture the cursor. There we go. Your sister and her husband, they were both American. What exactly were they doing in Paris?
Your sister and her husband, they were both American. What exactly were they doing in Paris?
I was supposed to meet them in Paris. You know, Mr. MacPherson, visiting Europe was my sister Ruby's childhood dream. With Mr. White, her wish came true. They were so very much in love.
You don't want to seem overly interested, but why not we settle my fees? Yeah, let's talk about money.
I don't want to seem overly interested, but why don't we settle my fees before we go any further?
This case may take you several days. I'll give you 500 straight away and 500 per day of successful investigation.
We accept it.
Your offer is very reasonable. I accept.
I owe you a lot, Mr. MacPherson. Much more than the money I'm paying you.
To be honest, I'm not sure I should take the case. Firstly, because where there's a murder, there's a murderer. Inspector Lebrun is in a better position to arrest murderers than I am.
Mr. MacPherson, I have no faith in the police. The 8th District Police Station, Lebrun especially, is trying to hush up the affair. All they care about is keeping their reputation as a chic area.
I think he's stricken by her beauty and he doesn't really care. Some of the dialogue in this game is a little bit disjointed, and there was dialogue missing when I first tried to stream it 3 years ago, so I like gave up, and it also had some like puzzle problems where you couldn't solve the puzzles, but I figured out how to solve them. I'll get into that when we get to the puzzle, but...
You'd like me to begin right away? I think I have all the information I need to begin. You're sure you haven't forgotten anything?
The police didn't find any items of value in the room. Yet my sister and her husband traveled very comfortably, in luxury and with old family heirlooms. It was a passion they both shared.
I don't think it has any dead ends. I think, you know, if you come to a stop, it's because you haven't figured out something like a puzzle, and you might have to go back to it. That's all. It's a risky travel, large sums of money. I hope to have results quickly. Let's go with this answer.
I hope to have results quickly. I'll be in touch with you when I've made some progress in my investigation. Goodbye, Miss Blake.
I ask only one thing of you. Be discreet. The police must not suspect you are involved. If you'd like to meet me...
Yeah, the reason we're having so much trouble like trying to stream this through OBS is because it's a Windows 95 game. Still Life was released on Windows 98, and Still Life 2, I think, came around Millennium Edition 2000. So that's why there's a lot of problems in trying to figure this out, but let's fix the volume. Can we do that at this point? Hang on. Yeah, it does look good. I mean, it's pre-rendered, everything. Even the 3D cutscenes are pre-rendered. Is there a way for me to get to the menu? I have a couple items in her hand, but... There's a map. The map will show you exactly where you can go to. You're starting out at MacPherson's place here. This canvas. It does look really good. I think Still Life had an Xbox release. I don't know, kind of like Siberia. I'm glad you guys think it looks good. Yeah. I'm hoping it's not too dark on screen. Let me try one more time with the gamma a little bit. Some of these areas are just so dark. There we go. It has an in-game gamma slider, but...
Hello, what number can I dial for you?
Forgive me, miss. I seem to...
We don't have a number to dial yet.
Thanks all the same.
If you want to talk to someone, you will need their number. Glad to be of service, sir. Goodbye.
I thought I could get into the menu system. I mean, there's got to be a way to save here. Whatever that was, we'll take it with us. Camera. I think this takes place in the 50s. I'm not 100% sure. But it definitely takes place before Still Life. There's certain items you got to pick up for the rest of the game. I mean, we got kind of like a sketchbook there, so... I think that's all we really need. Alright, well... what better way to start an investigation than to go to the scene of the crime? The Offrey Hotel? Yeah, I want to say this is more like Windows 98 Millennium Edition.
And do not forget, young man, the elevator is still out of order.
Oh, brother!
But being that everything's pre-rendered, it'll play on Windows 95. Win me, Shutter. Oh, yes. At that point, I was using Windows 2000, which was basically XP/NT. So hold on, how do I save the game? I should have known that. I did play 3.5 hours of the game before giving up last time. How do you quit the game? Save, load the game. Here we go. Somebody has the same exact question. The mouse keys may be reversed. For me, it's right click, but just use WE mouse click brings up the inventory. Once you see your inventory, click on the notepad. It should have things like documents, suspects, save game load. Okay. That's how we do it. There we are. Bring the music down a little. There. Yeah, gamma's all the way up, but it doesn't make much of a difference. Save it here. And this will pretty much tell you where to go. Sophia Blake, my client, 1 of 1, needs a detective to solve her sister's murder. Can be reached by a telephone number. And there's the telephone number, so. Regis White, 1 of victims, 1 of 1. Husband of Ruby White, found dead at the Hotel Offrey. Sophia Blake's sister, found dead at the hotel. That's all we know so far. Well, if that's the case, let's talk to our friend over here.
Good evening, sir. Welcome to the Hotel Orphée. My name is Isidore Petit. What can I do for you?
Good evening. My name is Gus MacPherson. I am a journalist for the Clarion de Paris. We don't want to tell them. We want to tell them we're an investigator or not. Are you the manager? My name is MacPherson. I'm in an international office of WAI, Worldwide American Insurance. I think the best thing to do is just be honest with these people. So let's just tell him we're a detective and see what he says.
Gus MacPherson. I'm a detective, a private investigator. I'm working on an investigation, a private investigation. The death of the Whites.
Sorry, sir. I'm afraid I cannot help you.
Okay. Maybe we shouldn't have done that.
I thought you were the manager of this establishment. I'm sorry if I made a mistake.
You are speaking to him. I am the manager, but I have no wish to answer your questions, sir.
So you will not discuss it. Do you have any reason to feel guilty?
Sir, we have nothing to be ashamed of. What happened in
2003,
is not
according to
about
Moby
that again.
Games. Well, then maybe it wasn't 98 or 95. Maybe it was Millennium Edition era. Probably Windows 2000 Millennium Edition, because XP came out in 2004? 2003. Either way, this is like running on DirectX 6 or 7. So anything below DirectX 8, OBS doesn't really recognize and can't stream. We're lucky we got this running. You seem rather defensive. Maybe there was some kind of security failure?
You seem rather defensive. Maybe there was some kind of security failure? Am I right?
That is enough. You wanted a demonstration of the effectiveness of our security. Well, I am personally responsible for security, and my first act will be to throw you out. Leave, sir.
Well, that part of the investigation is not going well.
You again. Sir, I have nothing more to say to you.
Okay. Well, let's reload since we blew it. For sure, I was just looking a double take that any Windows 95 game would look this good. It's running at 800 by 600. And you're kind of right there, but everything's pretty much pre-rendered, I think. So this is when we walked in here. Thank God for autosaves. Let's lie to him and tell him we're with insurance.
Good evening, sir. Welcome to the Hotel Orphée. My name is Isidore Petit. What can I do for you?
Are you the manager? My name is MacPherson. I am from the international office of WAI, World American Insurance.
Are you the manager? My name's MacPherson. I'm from the international office of WAI, Worldwide American Insurance. I'm investigating events that took place in your hotel several days ago. The murders.
The insurance company. Perfect. The Whites left, shall we say, a rather substantial bill that really needs to be settled. You are here about the bill.
We're not here for the bill, silly.
The bill? Yes, that's right. I've come to settle their hotel bill.
This bill is rather high. You are responsible for settling it. The total sum is exactly 2,500 francs.
I know there has been a murder, but I don't know any details. How did it happen?
I know there's been a murder, but I don't know any details. How did it happen?
That evening, somebody did not do their job properly. But what can I do? I cannot be everywhere at once. I shall be doubly careful from now on.
Were the Whites always alone in their room?
The Whites received no visitors during their stay here. They were adamant that they should not be disturbed, which is why I refused to give their number to a man who asked to see them the night before their murder.
Oh.
This man is suspicious. Have you told the police about him?
Like every good citizen. Except that my memory is not what it was. I fear my description will be of no help in tracking this person.
The description you have given me, I will be able to draw him myself. I am something of a painter too. Yeah, we're gonna have to get a description of this man.
With the description you've given me, I'll be able to draw him myself. I'm something of a painter too.
You are looking for a description with which you are going to produce a sketch, is that it? Well, I cannot wait to see this. The man was French, Parisian, in fact. No spectacles, no. Small, dark, rather wide eyes beneath large, thick eyebrows. Wide mouth, thin lips, a boxer's nose, solid build, a strapping lad. Typical working class type. If you want any more information, contact the police directly. I'm afraid that I can do no more for you.
Wide eyes, thick eyebrows, boxing man, kind of complexion, dark. All right.
I'm sure the front desk clerk will not like to see me going upstairs alone. Must find a ruse or persuade him to come up with me. I'm sure the front desk clerk will...
Okay, we gotta persuade him. 2,500 French francs would have been roughly $448 and 21 cents. Interesting. So we gotta get upstairs. How do we do that? Let's talk to him some more.
You again? Sir, I have nothing more to say to you.
All right. Well, since we can't go upstairs yet, let's go talk to the bartender on the other side.
What can I get you, sir?
He is rude. Give me a bottle of red. All right, so that ends up in our inventory now. There we go. We'll need it for something later.
Sir?
I would like to inquire about a couple of friends.
May I help you? What's the name?
White. Or we could just say an American couple who were staying at the Offrey, the Whites. They had a terrible accident, now they are dead.
An American couple who were staying at the Orphe. The Whites. They had a terrible accident. Now they're dead.
I'm truly sorry, sir. It's an awful story. A tragic end.
Do the police have a suspect?
I told them what I knew. I definitely saw someone by the window all evening. That is my testimony. They can do what they like with it.
Can you tell me more? Let's be nice to them.
Can you tell me any more?
You know I would like to help you, but I think you had better deal directly with the police. A man named Lebrun is leading the inquiry.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So we have a description of the man, and all we have to go by is that description. He's telling us to go to the police. Let's check our notebook. Oh, that's all we have in the notebook on that part. Suspects and contacts. Petite, the manager of the Offrey. Regis, one of the victims. Okay. So the bartender's not really anything here. DRS, happy Friday. Thank you for the host. Oh, you missed the ending to Soma. Starting a new game now. Detective adventure game. How's it going, man? Thank you for the host, man. Well, what's up? Alright, so the bartender said to go talk to police. Let's go talk to police. They still have the old gas lamps here that they gotta turn on late at night. Like I said, this is probably the 50s.
Are you quite sure, Mr. Beauvais, that you have not seen him?
Yes, I'm sure. Go on, Mrs. Elwa, go home. We will take care of this, I promise.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Beauvais. You're so kind. The next time I'm at Cézanne, I'll bring you back a nice bottle of red wine. That's a promise. Goodbye, then.
Bottle of red wine. So maybe we have the bottle of red wine in our possession. Maybe we have to bribe this guy with it.
A little bottle of red. Come on, next.
Let's talk to him.
Can I help you?
You're a policeman. My name is Gus MacPherson. I am an American journalist. I want to ask you questions about the Offrey case. I think the best thing to do is not tell him we're a private detective.
You're a policeman. My name is Gus MacPherson. I'm an American journalist. I would like to ask you a couple of questions about the Orphe case.
I do not deal with you journalist types.
Okay. Picked the wrong selection. I'm a journalist, but I'm not under contract right now. I'm working for an overseas branch of American Secret Police. Let's go with that.
I am a journalist, but I'm not under contract. Right now I'm working for the overseas branch of the American Secret Police. I'm an undercover agent.
I would love to believe it. But an official document would help.
I can give you the number of my boss in New York. My government knows nothing about my interest in the case. Just think of me as a private detective. Thing is, back in America, we do not have papers. It's a small country. Really? Some of the dialogue in this is a little odd, but... Just tell him we're a detective.
Nothing about my interest in this case. Just think of me as a private detective.
Oh, so now you are detective? Why not a plumber while we're at it? Can I see your license?
Oh, no problem, Senior Jefe. Thank you again for selecting Soma. Love it. Loved it. Every minute of it. Have a good night and a good weekend and a happy Easter or Passover if you're celebrating. Either way, enjoy the weekend if you're not celebrating. I have a license at home. I can go and pick it up if you want to see it that much. But we will waste a lot of time.
A license? I didn't know detectives needed a license. Where can I get one of those?
You're a smart one, aren't you? But you do not need a license to be a private investigator in Paris. So now it's swarming with snoops who ask too many questions. Who do you work for?
The 1920s? My monetary conversion was probably off by a lot. If this takes place in the 1920s, that's interesting. Because they do have cars, it seems, in this. They at least have trolleys. Interesting. Thought it took place much later. For the moment, I can only tell you two things. She's the sister of the victim from the orphanage, and she trusts my services more than she does yours.
For the moment, I can only tell you two things. She's the sister of one of the victims from the orphanage, and she trusts my services more than she does yours.
The murder at the orphanage? Is it the victim's sister who is paying? That would surprise me.
Yeah, cars were definitely
No family
in the
involved in
1920s.
Anyway, it is simple. There is nothing to say. No more to the journalist than to the detective.
At least in America. I don't know how popular they were in France at the time. But we'll see how this pans out. There's some things in this game that make me think it takes place later, but if it's the 1920s, that kind of makes sense based on the camera we picked up at his apartment. Just a helping hand so I can launch an investigation in the right direction. That way we will not get our lines crossed. I do not want to impede your work in any way.
Just a helping hand so I can launch my investigation in the right direction. That way we will not get our lines crossed. I don't want to impede your work in any way.
Forget it. It is baking in here, isn't it? You would not happen to have anything to drink, would you? Just one for the road.
Okay, so he wants something to drink. He likes red wine. Let's give him the red wine and bribe him. Can we not do that? Maybe we have to talk to him about the red wine?
Full of promises and empty-handed, huh?
You happen to have a little something for you. An amazing bottle of red wine. You cannot say no to that, officer. Do you feel a little thirsty?
I do happen to have a little something for you. An amazing bottle of red wine. You cannot say no to that, officer. Don't you feel a little thirsty?
Bribing him. Okay, he's got his bottle of wine. He's gonna drink on duty. So can we talk to him?
A secret agent reappears. Strange lot, you Americans, I swear.
This is where you got the 1920s from? Then they're probably right. I would probably go with the 1920s. I never made it through the whole game. I only got up to a certain puzzle, which I couldn't finish. Alright, so we bribe them with the wine.
So fast, buddy. If you're after the inspector, you have to see me first. Great. The secret agent reappears. Strange lot, you Americans, I swear.
Alright, we gave him the wine, so we can't talk to him anymore.
Yeah, right. Goodbye.
Probably have to wait till he drinks it and gets drunk in order to come back and kind of sneak past them. The inspector we want to see is in the station, so... It's been 3 years since I tried this game, so it's been a while. Yeah, that would have been the easy way to go. Probably would have gotten us killed, too. This is out of service in the elevator. Okay. Can't go in there. Probably like the ballroom. Sometimes the movement's a little wacky.
Ah, it is you again.
Tio Malay, your doorman. Did you fire him personally? So your memory's returning, Mr. Petit. That is good. What do you remember about the man who asked for the White's night of his murder?
So your memory is returning, Mr. Petit. That's good. What do you remember about the man who asked for the Whites the night of their murder?
I agree with the police. That man is very suspicious. Maybe seeing his picture will jolt my memory and allow me to identify him.
Théo Mallet, your doorman. Did you fire him personally?
It amounts to the same thing. Théo Mallet left his job the night the Whites were murdered. I do not want to hear any more about him.
Suspicious he quit his job the night that they were murdered? You do not resign from your job just like that.
You don't resign from your job just like that. Mallet must have given you some reason, some excuse, a letter even.
Mallet was a thug and a very poor employee. He spent more time in the Nanty Café than he did working. It's no great loss.
So I think we could go to the cafe at some point, if he's there.
But I have an idea. Did Mallet resign before or after the White's death? That would change everything.
He left before Madame Loiseau called me to sort out one or two problems, so that was before the murders had come to light. Mallet slipped away quietly. Do you really think it makes a difference? As far as I'm concerned, Mallet is a suspect. Good. Well, if it's all right with you, I have a lot of work to do. Goodbye, sir.
All right, so we have Theo Malay as a possible suspect. Let's see if we can sketch something out here. Pretty good artist. Supposed to have a sketchbook here. The notes. This is the autopsy report. Death was caused by decapitation. In both cases, the death of the man preceded that of the woman. The broken bones in the neck suggest use of a fine but extremely sharp blade. The heads were removed with a single cut. Oh, way to go. Traces of substance of an opium derivative of unknown nature was found in their respiratory tracts. Isidore Petit Hotel Orfray reception. The Whites returned around 11 p.m. Was advised by neighbors Mrs. Loiseau that door 507 had been left open time around midnight. All police on discovery of the bodies claims not to have touched the crime scene. Few striking facts about that evening. Witness statements. Recalls man wanting to see the Whites the night before their murder. Description of suspect. No glasses, small dark eyes, large mouth, thin lips. Boxer nose, and so on. As she was about to take her dog out for its midnight walk, she saw a man running down the stairs. All she can say is that he came from room 507. Short, straight hair, Flat, medium-sized ears. That's all we have. We're supposed to have a sketchbook here. Why can't I sketch? Maybe we didn't pick it up. Is it? Wallet. 495 francs. Okay, we have a camera. Sophia Blake's calling card. This is a sketchbook. Alright, so this is the person that we need to sketch. He had no glasses, we know that. Let's remove the glasses if we can. Big boxy ears, they said. Could be any of these. He had a mustache. We know that. What else did I write? Small mouth. Square jaw. Just gonna take a guess here. Big bushy eyebrows. And it's short hair. Guess this is the closest thing to short. It's either that or this. Let's go with that for now. Then we'll show it to the guy at the counter and see what he says, if this looks like him. The eyes, small and dark. Some of these combinations just look ridiculous. We'll go with that. Sketch it. Alright, let's see what he says.
Ah, it is you again.
Thanks to you, I've been able to draw up a portrait of a potential suspect.
Thanks to you, I've been able to draw up a portrait of a potential suspect. It's not perfect, but I think that with this, we are onto something. Now all we have to do is show it to the police.
That crafty devil with the mustache. Then he is the culprit.
Just 1 minute, Mr. Petit. I never said this man was guilty. I do not even know his name.
Just 1 minute, Mr. Petit. I never said this man was guilty. I don't even know his name.
With those killer's eyes, there can be no mistake.
So he thinks it's the guy in the photo, but...
You again! Sir, I have nothing more to say to you.
Let's go show this to the bartender before we get going here. It's getting late.
Sir?
Do you recognize this man?
No, it's definitely not him. Looks nothing like him.
He got killer's eyes. I think you're guilty. I think he's guilty too. Police have a suspect. I saw inspector's report. What do you know about the man who spent the entire evening by the window? Like, we don't even know about that yet.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Alright, well, our sketch isn't exactly right. Let's try to get the sketch right at least. Let's go back to the description. It's the wrong document. The victim's a man and a woman. The victims are a man and a woman. Research of the room. Yeah, that's just about the crime. Let's check out the conversations we had. was the cop. I can only tell you two things. She is the sister of one of the victims. Okay, that's us telling him. You do not need the license to... That's with the cop. I think we've pretty much lost the description at this point. Alright. If you guys are finding this game interesting somewhat, it's kind of slow moving, but the story's quite good. It's no Soma. We're not going to get like attacked by a monster. Not yet, at least.
I'm sure the front desk clerk will not like to see me going upstairs alone. Must find a ruse or persuade him to come up with me.
Can't go alone. What's this over here? Let's give him the newspaper. Maybe that'll keep him occupied.
You again! Sir, I have nothing more to say to you.
Let's take a look at the newspaper before we quit it. Can't hand him the newspaper. Nor can we look at it. They're telling me this is not the right sketch, so... I think we need to sketch it again. Small dark eyes, we have that. It wasn't bald. Big bushy eyebrows, maybe this was it. It's gotta be the right mustache. It's just a matter of his mouth. Try that. Said he had like a square jaw like a boxer, maybe not. Let's try it again. Didn't the description say his eyes were really far apart? Possibly. I should have the description in my notebook, but it's not in there anymore.
You again! Sir, I have nothing more to say to you.
Alright. It's a pretty cool looking hand-drawn sketch for a mechanic. Sketching mechanic. Yeah, no, it's pretty cool. They give you the items, but you know, you gotta kind of put it together. Eyes that were far apart. These eyes are pretty far apart. Okay, since MacPherson's not talking to the manager right now, let's try showing it again to this guy.
Sir?
The police have a suspect. I saw the inspector's report. What do you know about the man who spent the entire evening by the window?
That is certainly true. He was here on the night of the murder.
Until what time did the man stay?
Now let's see if I can remember. He arrived at around 8 p.m., took a seat by the window, and dashed off just before the storm broke, at around 11 p.m.
You see what direction he left it?
Did you see what direction he went when he left?
I don't know. You cannot see outside from in here. You'd better check at the Orphée. Petit, the receptionist, will probably know.
Now, Bass. We could do that, but I don't know if the game will progress because of that. Stayed there for alone the whole evening?
And he stayed there alone for the whole evening.
Now let me think. I saw him chatting for a while with Malay.
Who is Malay?
Who is this Malay?
Theo Malay. Works at the Orphée. He's a lout.
Why is he a lowlife?
Why is he a lowlife?
He likes to bet, and when you do, you have to pay your gambling debts. It's a vicious circle. Malay is a bona fide con man.
Did you notice whether Malay gave any money to this man?
Did you notice whether Malay gave any money to this man?
No. It's the man who gave the money to Malay. I remember, it was cash.
You see this man with the whites?
Did you see this man with the whites?
I have never seen the whites, under any circumstances. There's no way I would have noticed them with that man.
So these two men have no connection to the whites' murder.
So these two men may have no connection to the whites' murder.
Sorry, but this is your investigation, not mine. I can only tell you the facts. Nothing more.
Nothing more.
Could you give me a description of this mysterious character?
You could draw him? That's really neat.
Yeah, I told you that before. I saw your sketch.
He was tall, very tall, heavy, black mustache, square-faced, and dreadful eyes. Threatening even. A tough guy.
Black mustache.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That doesn't really help us. That's just this guy's opinion of that he was dreadful looking. Yeah, I don't know. Let's show him the picture at least.
Sir?
And do you know where I might find this Malay?
Malay hangs out at the Alambic, a bistro in the 14th district. That is where he gambles away his wages.
Okay. At least we found another location and a reason to go there to find this Malay guy. Guess we're not showing the script off or the sketch off anymore. So if that's the case, he doesn't want to talk to us still?
Again.
Okay.
Sir, I have nothing more to say to you.
He's pissed with us. Alright, so we have some new places on the map. Dr. Frank Hoffner's office. We don't know who Dr. Frank Hoffner is, so I don't know why we would just show up there. The bistro is where this Malay guy is. Yeah, I guess that's more or less a 1920 car that passed by, right? I was thinking more like 1940s, but that makes sense for the 1920s.
Cutie. We've not seen you in ages.
Berenice. What a surprise. Look, I'm in a bit of a hurry. Do you know a certain Theo Malay?
No. But surely the owner does. You're lucky he's in right now. Your gnome knows everyone, you know.
You're as charming as ever. Thank you, Berenice.
Call me Bebe like everybody else. Right, I've got to run too, cutie. You know, work. See you soon, okay?
Yes, anyway, you know my address. Come up and see me sometime. Ciao.
Ciao.
Ciao!
Well, he's got himself a lady friend. Here we are. The bar. I'm assuming this is Malay. And that's the bartender. We should talk to the bartender first, I'm assuming. All these people are just painted onto the walls. Alright. Well, we're going to call it here. This is Post-Mortem. I hope what little you've seen of it, you've enjoyed. It's a little bit slow-moving and not as horrific as the other game we were playing, Soma. Thanks for hanging out, guys. DRS, sorry we're ending so soon, but I will give you a shout out. Thank you again. Jesus, you could place your drink on that lady's neck in horrible posture. Yes, you're right. Oh my god. DRS is playing Hades. Hades.
Yes.
Alright, so we're going to continue here when we get back on Monday's stream. We'll play more post-mortem. We got a murder to solve. 2 decapitated bodies. Let's hang around for a second. We're going to raid. This is going to be interesting, this game. It's not without its quirks, but her posture was pretty bad, yeah. All right, you're welcome. Have a good weekend, everybody. If I don't see you before to the end of the weekend, have a good Easter if you're celebrating. Have a blessed Passover if you're celebrating. I think Passover ends tonight. I'm not sure. I appreciate it. We'll do more of this on Monday. Please stay for the raid. We are going to raid Sinitar, who's playing Retro Game Gauntlet. He's randomly playing games from Saturn right now, and he's on Rayman. And I've never seen this part of Rayman, so he's made it further than I ever have been. All right, guys. Hang out, and have a good weekend.